Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to part 2 of my review of The Lone Ranger. Part 2 of The Lone Ranger. Now I'm starting. I'll get into the plot. I said a lot. Part one, I said a lot of stuff of why this film was bad, and stuff, and some good points to it though. But now I was getting into the plot. Now the film. And here's one of the points that I think that was not needed. It opens up with in 1933 of San Francisco, where this kid, just in the dress like looking like the Lone Ranger, he goes into this old Wild West, expedition, and looking at those stuff, and you see the kid walks up and sees an old Indian, which is Tonto, old Tonto, and with Johnny Depp looking shitty ass old makeup, just like Guy Pearce looked, in shitty ass old man makeup in Prometheus, That's another film I want to talk about, Prometheus. But between makeup, Johnny Depp, I say Johnny Depp looks better in old man makeup than Guy Pearce did in Prometheus. The Lone Ranger, I would still say, is better than Prometheus, because Prometheus was dumb and stupid. So yeah, he looks at the kid, looks like thinking for a second he looked like Lone Ranger, but no, he doesn't. Then he goes and tells the kid the story. Tells the story from the past about the Lone Ranger. Now, one of the negative points I would say this film was over almost 2.5 hours, and I would say they could have just cut out the scenes with the kid and old Tonto. It shouldn't have, to me personally, those should not have been needed in the film. I think it was completely unnecessary. But I don't know. Even cutting out all the scenes, I would say cut out. I would say 10 minutes though. It made the film short, but still wouldn't help. This film was 2 hours. It's too long anyway. Still, yeah. So you should have cut those scenes out of the film. With old Tonto was not needed. It would have been better off just showing the film as it is. So yeah, now goes back to 1869 in Colby, Texas. With John Reed, the Lone Ranger. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's riding the train back, to his hometown, to see his brother Dan, who is a ranger, with among others. And on the train, of course, the bad guys are there to break their leader out, which Butch Cavendish, played by William Fichtner. And now there's another thing. When you look at this character, Butch Cavendish, played by William Fichtner, William Fichtner is the guy who playing the Shredder in the new Ninja Turtles film, right? You look at this character in this film, like this guy right here. Does this look like the guy who fitting to play the Shredder? That's your character in the new Ninja Turtles film. This guy here playing the Shredder. I'm nothing against this actor William Fichtner, but I'm saying that one thing that really frustrates me with this new Ninja Turtles film. In the I explained in my trailer reaction rant, to check that out, and I'll explain it better. But that's your guy who's playing the Shredder in the new Ninja Turtles film. But yeah, so Butch Cavendish, he's on the train, along next to Tonto, who was also captured, because I'm gonna cut the short, because he wants to take revenge, because he knows this guy who helped get his village killed, because throughout the film, Tonto has his watch, which you go into a flashback, shows a flashback when Tonto was a kid. He sold his whole village out for this cheap pocket watch so he could show Butch and this other guy, which I'll tell you who it is, some silver up in the mountains, and that got his whole village killed because they want to keep it a secret, and it was his fault because of the watch, and he can't live with what he's done, so that's why. He's there to he wants to kill the two guys, including Butch. Which you know who he is. Um, John Reed goes over there. He sees a guy on top of the roof. He goes over to the prison car. Um, he sees Butch Cavendish. And holds the gun on, chains it back, but still, yet his gang members freeze him, then chains it back, chains John Reed to next to Tonto. So they make the train go very fast, past the station, and Dan and his other deputy rangers, they chase out, they go after him, Then when they reach the end of the track, that's when you see the trailer, the train wreck right there, which I thought was one of the good things I liked about it. It was since I first saw in the trailer how the train wreck went. I like that part there. Okay, the effects look good, especially for 215 to 250 million. Which I still can see what the budget go to. So for the visual effects on the train scenes, and especially the end, and and a few other stuff. But where else did the budget go? What the settings of the Wild West? I've seen Jonah Hex had a settings of a Wild West, and that didn't have a tremendous budget. It was only 47, and it still looked like a Wild West, but still that didn't help. It's because that film was a flop. And if you look at my video, I made my video of my top 10 movie train wrecks. That first train wreck of the Lone Ranger is on that list, because if I wouldn't have liked it, I would never put it on that video. So yeah, that was one good thing that I liked about that, because I like that scene with the train wreck. And of course, since they're both flying with tumbling, which they're still perfectly fine after rolling over in the hard ground, numerous times, But then after that, Tonto still gets put in jail, and he gets put in jail, and John Reed he gets deputized to Texas Ranger by his brother to go after Butch. So they're riding through the desert, and one of Dan's men, Collins, which I knew he was gonna be a traitor, because as soon as they told him to go check it out, see if it's all clear, they get ambushed, all the Rangers get killed, Dan gets shot, and John, he tries to save his brother, but he gets shot as well. Then Butch arrives and goes and cuts out Dan's heart, and especially for it's PG-13, especially for also made by Disney, that was kind of like a gruesome scene. How getting the impression of the guy's getting his heart cut out and the guy eating it, because you see through the reflection of John's eye, you can see him, eat the heart, Okay, that was kind of like how a gruesome scene for a Disney film, seeing a person eat another person's heart, But you don't see it that well, but you get the idea, because you see it briefly see it through John's eye, So then Tonto, who magically got out of jail, which you think I knew, because it's always a typical thing in Western films when they get locked up in jail. They always leave the keys on the next to the desk, though. But you don't see him take the keys. You just see him magically out of jail. You just see him on the top of a cliff. He takes all the dead deputies. Puts them in graves. And then there's this white horse, which they call it the spirit horse. Who's gonna take, who knows, one of our great warriors been to the other side. The white horse chooses John, but Tonto wanted to choose his brother, Great warrior, bring him back, but no, the horse chooses him. And of course, there's also other jokes that I did not care for, did not care for it, or didn't find it that funny, like when Tonto is riding on the horse, then the horse, craps, and then the joke is, oh, look at it, because also the horse is dragging John's body, Of course, he gets his head gets dragged through the crap, which is that's a joke. I think it's supposed to be funny, It wasn't that funny. And there's some other, I like it. The white horse looks nice, because I like horses, a white horse looks real nice, But this is because some bull crap stuff what they do with the horse, I know they say it's a spirit horse, but it's supposed to be a magic horse, So like when they're on when Dan's wife and his son gets taken, and then the other people, some of the other bad guys, they set the barn on fire with Tonto and John in it, The horse just suddenly appears on the roof, it appears on the roof of a barn, and then like some other time later on the film, all of a sudden it appears in a freaking tree, Yeah, it's supposed to be a spirit horse, but it's a regular horse. It doesn't have like magic powers to fly, It appears on the roof of a barn, and then later on the film, next thing it appears on a tree, and then later next to before the train chase at the end, it appears on the roof with John, doing this lasso thing. Or another joke where they're at this carnival place. I don't know where it is, like some entertaining place, and you see the horse grab some booze and drink it and then burp, I just don't like jokes like that. I don't find that funny, especially animals will they, like drink, and especially when it burps like that, So then, but after John gets shot, Tonto, tells that further in the trail you see John on top of that large wooden pillar on top of a high cliff, Then he just talks to Tonto, saying, why am I covered in dirt? And he says, I buried you, great warrior who helped me on my quest, one who's been to the other side and returned, So then next day he goes to that carnival place, talks to Helena Bonham Carter, which he has appeared in a couple of films with Johnny Depp in Tim Burton's films like Sweeney Todd, And there was another film that starred with Johnny Depp. I forget though, but I mostly remember her from Sweeney Todd, and I forget what Tim Burton film starred in it. Oh yeah, Alice in Wonderland. She was the Queen of Hearts, which I did not care for Alice in Wonderland. She's like the in charge of this place, dancers was prostitute dancers, I don't know. She has a prosthetic leg that was taken because of Bush to Cavendish, because she knows that you make that animal pay for what he did, we took from her, Or some more silly stuff with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, put the bird cage over his head, because I'm afraid of cats, Or the stuff that John does, like earlier when he's riding the train back home, the girl drops his doll and she says, "Here, catch it," and just throws it and it flies out the window. Stupid dumb joke like that. Or now when as they're leaving, he said, "Do you have it?" When Helena Carter said she doesn't have a cat though, and the cat is right on the steps and goes and brings it back. "Excuse me, I think I found your cat," when there's a mob there. There was a lot of jokes I just did not think that was funny, or some lines of dialogue that were not funny at all, Now I'm gonna have to go into another part here. I didn't want to go into as many parts though, but I have no choice though. So I'm gonna stop right here and stay tuned for part 3 of The Lone Ranger.